I'm sitting in El Paso, Texas, and it's been 1 year since a gunman walked into a Walmart and killed 23 people. He told police he came to kill Mexicans. This is the largest attack on Latinos in modern history. You've accused President Trump of bearing responsibility for the rise in hate crimes. How do you convince white supremacists that minority groups are vital to restoring the soul of America?
I don't convince white supremacists. They're not going to be convinced. They have to be put in jail when they do things that are inappropriate. White supremacists are not going to be convinced, but the vast majority of people are not white supremacists. Look, here's the deal. You know, I've been involved in civil rights my whole life. And one of the things I thought was that I thought we could really defeat hate. I thought there was a way to defeat it. And when I got out of law school, I came back. My city was in flames. My city was the only city, Wilmington, Delaware, occupied by the National Guard for 10 months, unlike since the Civil War. It just hadn't happened since then. And so what happened? What happened was I came back, had a good job, decided to leave and become a public defender. And I used to interview my clients down by the railroad station. And here I was 40 years ago, later to the month, standing on that same railroad station, waiting for a black man to come and pick me up to take me to Washington, D.C., to be sworn in as President and Vice President of the United States. So I called my 3 children up. My son was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware. My other son was the head of the World Food Program USA. And my daughter's a social worker dealing with criminal justice. And so I said, don't tell me things can't change. Look. I looked over the east side and I said that was all barren and burned to the ground. Now it's moving and so on. And so I thought you could defeat hate. The reason I'm running is because of Donald Trump's what he said when those folks came out of the fields in Charlottesville. I realized hate doesn't go away, it just hides. And when a president breathes oxygen under the rocks, he pulls them out, he legitimizes them. They make up a significant minority of the American public, but left unattended, they grow, and they cause great damage. And that's why we have to make sure we do a whole range of things. But there's a lot of things we're going to do because, look, for the first time, you have over 70% of the American people concluding that Black Lives Matter, the phrase Black Lives Matter. You have almost as many whites marching with blacks to say, let's end this systemic racism in America. I think the country's ready. They're ready because they know we can make significant progress, and they know the reason why they've been safe from COVID is because of the Latino and black communities have been doing all the hard work. You got thousands of DACA students out there doing the mainline work and making sure the people are safe. You have all kinds of folks, the woman making sure she's stacking the grocery shelves to make sure we have food to eat. The farm worker you talked about, ma'am, who is making sure we have the food to get in the table. They figured it out. And we have a confluence of 3 things that have happened that are going to give us an enormous opportunity to change the dynamic in America. 1, the COVID pandemic. 2, the gigantic unemployment. 3, the systemic racism that is so exposed. We can now move in a direction. That's why I put this Build Back Better plan together, focusing the last piece on racial equity. We can do this. The country's ready. They know we must.
Mr. Vice President, I want to follow up on your point to Alfredo's question that white supremacists can't be convinced. You just said there that the extreme right-wing folks in the country left unattended will grow. So shouldn't there be some sentiment to reach out to people who hold racist views to convince them otherwise?
That's different than the white. Look, you're talking about white supremacists. I thought you're talking about the people like the kid who showed up in El Paso and gunned down all those innocent people. Okay? That's what we're talking about. The Ku Klux Klan and the like, the white supremacists, those who belong to those groups. They are a minority. I'm reaching out to everyone else. I've done it my whole career. My state has the 8th largest black population in the United States of America as a percent of population. That's where I started. That's my support. That's what I've been working with my whole career. And you can deal with those who in fact are prejudiced, a lot of prejudice out there, but not everyone's a white supremacist like the kid who went in and gunned down those folks in El Paso. There's a difference.